Quinoa, pronounced quinoa, originates from the Andean region of South America, cultivated for over 5,000 years. This ancient grain was a staple for the Inca civilization, who called it the mother grain. Quinoa, the grain with a golden glow, a tiny seed where goodness grow. Light as a feather, strong as can be, a treasure from nature, so wild and free. Quinoa, or chisaya mama, as the Incas called it, meaning mother grain, has been a vital part of Andean culture since ancient times. This pseudo-cereal, technically a seed-like fruit, was not only a primary source of nutrition but also held significant spiritual value. It believed to be sacred, quinoa was so important that the Inca emperor would sow the first seeds each season using golden tools. When the Spanish arrived, they mistakenly viewed quinoa as a false idol and attempted to eradicate it by burning its fields. Cultural bias. The Spanish associated quinoa consumption with native populations and lower social classes, leading to an undesirable perception of the crop. Deliberate suppression. Spanish explorers, particularly Francisco Pizarro, actively sought to destroy Incan culture by destroying quinoa fields, limiting its spread. These factors combined to prevent quinoa from being introduced to Europe during the early colonial period, despite its importance as a staple food for pre-Columbian civilizations in the Andean region. However, the resilience of the Andean people and the hardiness of the quinoa plant ensured its survival. The rediscovery and global expansion of quinoa occurred in several stages. First experiments. The first known experiment outside the Andes took place in 1935 in Kenya, using seeds from the Royal Botanical Gardens in Kew, UK. Scientific interest. From the 1940s to 1960s, various studies were conducted on quinoa's response to nutrient deficiencies, salinity tolerance, and temperature sensitivity. Commercial cultivation. In the 1980s, commercial quinoa cultivation began in Canada, marking the start of its global agricultural spread. International recognition. In 2013, the United Nations declared the International Year of Quinoa, significantly raising its profile as a potential major crop. In recognition of its importance, the United Nations declared 2013 the International Year of Quinoa, highlighting its global significance. What makes quinoa so special? It is one of the few plant-based foods that is a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids that our bodies cannot produce on their own. Quinoa is rich in protein, fiber, iron, copper, thiamine, and vitamin B6. It also has a low glycemic index and is packed with B vitamins, calcium, and magnesium. But did you know there are different types of quinoa? Red and black quinoa have about twice the antioxidant power of white quinoa, making them particularly beneficial for preventing degenerative diseases associated with free radical damage. High in protein, a nutrient gift, it lifts the body, gives the spirit a lift. With colors so varied, from white to red, it fuels the body, from toes to head. Health benefits of quinoa. Support heart health. The fiber in quinoa can help lower cholesterol levels, potentially reducing the risk of heart disease. Lower risk of chronic diseases. Its high content of anti-inflammatory phytonutrients and antioxidants may help prevent various diseases. Aid in weight management. The protein and fiber in quinoa can help control appetite and support weight loss efforts. Balance blood sugar. Studies indicate that quinoa may improve triglyceride levels and blood sugar management. Cooking quinoa is simple. Rinse it under cold water, combine it with water in a pot, and let it simmer until fluffy. You can use it in salads, bowls, or even as a base for stir-fries. Quick cuts of delicious quinoa recipes, salads, bowls, and desserts. Today, quinoa has transcended its Andean roots, becoming a global phenomenon. From trendy restaurants to home kitchens, it's embraced by health enthusiasts everywhere. Quinoa is a great addition to any meal. It's gluten-free, rich in nutrients, and can be prepared in a variety of delicious ways. It can be used as a substitute for rice or pasta, added to salads, or even made into granola bars. In bowls and plates and cookies it finds its place, a humble dish, full of grace. Fluffy and tender, soft yet bright, it fills you up and feels just right. Recipe: healthy quinoa cookies recipe. These quinoa cookies are a perfect balance of wholesome ingredients and natural sweetness. They're packed with protein, fiber, and healthy fats, making them a guilt-free treat that's both satisfying and nutritious. Ingredients: 1/2 cup cooked quinoa, cooled, 1/2 cup rolled oats, use gluten-free oats for a gluten-free version, 1/4 cup almond flour, or oat flour, 1/4 cup coconut flour, 1/4 cup maple syrup, or honey, 1/4 cup almond butter, or peanut butter, 1/4 cup dark chocolate chips, optional, for a chocolatey treat, 1/4 cup unsweetened shredded coconut, optional, 1/4 of a teaspoon vanilla extract, 1/4 of a teaspoon baking soda, 1/8 of a teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, optional, 1-2 tablespoon chia seeds or flax seeds, optional, for added omega-3s, 2 tablespoons coconut oil, melted, for a rich texture. Instructions: preheat the oven. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees Celsius, and line a baking sheet with parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. Prepare the quinoa. If you haven't already, cook the quinoa according to package instructions, typically 1 part quinoa to 2 parts water, simmer for about 15 minutes, and fluff with a fork. Allow it to cool to room temperature. Mix the dry ingredients. In a large bowl, combine the rolled oats, almond flour, coconut flour, baking soda, salt, cinnamon, if using, and chia or flax seeds. Stir to combine. Combine the wet ingredients. In a separate bowl, whisk together the maple syrup, almond butter, coconut oil, and vanilla extract. Add in the cooked, warm quinoa and mix until everything is well incorporated. Form the cookie dough. Add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients and stir until a thick dough form. If you'd like, fold in the chocolate chips and shredded coconut. Shape the cookies. Use a spoon or cookie scoop to form small balls of dough, about 1 tablespoon per cookie, and place them onto the prepared baking sheet. Gently flatten each cookie with the back of the spoon to form a disc shape or any shape. The dough won't spread much during baking, so make sure they are in the shape you want them to be. Bake for 10-12 minutes, or until the cookies are golden brown around the edges and firm to the touch. The cookies will continue to firm up as they cool. Cool and serve. Allow the cookies to cool on the baking sheet for 5 minutes before transferring them to a wire rack to cool completely. Tips. Substitutions. You can substitute almond flour with oat flour for a nut-free option or swap almond butter with peanut butter or sunflower seed butter. Sweetener. Adjust the sweetness by adding more maple syrup or raw honey if desired. You can also substitute the maple syrup with coconut sugar for a lower glycemic index version. Add-ins, like dark chocolate chips. Feel free to get creative with mix-ins. You can add dried fruit like raisins or cranberries, chopped nuts, or seeds. Enjoy these soft, chewy, and wholesome quinoa cookies as a nourishing snack or dessert. And now it is time for funny conversation. Quinoa and lentils are having a heated debate over who is the superior legume, or grain, in quinoa's case. Quinoa, fluffing up dramatically, oh, please. We both know I'm the superior choice here. I'm light, fluffy, and packed with protein. I mean, have you ever seen anyone call you a superfood? Lentils, rolling eyes, superfood? Quinoa, you're basically a tiny, fancy puffball with delusions of grandeur. I'm the real MVP. Full of fiber, iron, and I can go with anything, soups, stews, salads, you name it. You just sit there looking pretty while I do the heavy lifting. Quinoa, proudly, excuse me, I can be a salad topper, a side dish, or even a breakfast bowl. And did I mention, I'm gluten-free? Can you say the same? Lentils, snorts, oh, wow, you're gluten-free. That's cute. I'm always gluten-free. I've been rocking it since day one, buddy. Plus, I don't need to be rinsed and babysat before being cooked. I'm low maintenance, unlike some of us who need their own special treatment. Quinoa, defensively, hey, I just like to make sure I'm clean, okay, it's a thing. And let's talk about texture. I pop in your mouth, light, fluffy, with that delicate crunch, you're just mushy. The texture of a sad potato. Lentils, laughing, mushy, mashy? I'm comforting. People crave me when they need a hearty meal. I'm the backbone of curries and dal. You're just a sidekick, always showing up with a fancy name but no real depth. Quinoa, rolling with the punches, depth? Please, I'm an ancient grain. Ancient, what have you got? A lentil soup recipe that makes you wish you had a nap afterward? Lentils, mockingly, ancient? You're just the trendy grain of the last 5 minutes. The ancient Romans ate meat. Quinoa, scoffing, oh, please. The Romans ate whatever they could get their teeth on. You know what? I'm done. You're just jealous because I'm all over Instagram and you've got, what, lentil soup? Lentils, smirking, Instagram? So now you're famous for taking pretty pictures? I've been saving lives in casseroles for decades, quinoa. But go ahead, enjoy your aesthetic. Quinoa, well, at least I can be the star of the dish. People make quinoa bowls, quinoa salads, quinoa cookies, quinoa burgers. I'm practically a lifestyle. Lentils, smirking, oh, I see. So you're a lifestyle. I'm just over here keeping it real, one lentil stew at a time. Quinoa, okay, fine, you do have your moments. But I make the best bowls. Lentils, grinning, I'm not going to argue with that. You do make a main quinoa bowl. But next time, let's just agree, I'm the king of comfort, and you're the queen of trendy. Quinoa, smiling, deal. As long as I don't have to sit in a stew for hours. Lentils, laughing, fair enough. Next time, we'll make a team, a quinoa lentil casserole. Now that's a superfood dish. Quinoa, chuckling, fine. But I'm definitely rolling on top. Lentils, rolling eyes, sure, you can be the fluff on top. I'll hold down the fort. Tossed in salads, or with a stew, it's versatile, healthy, and always new. Quinoa, the seed we can't ignore, a superfood that we adore. Stay happy and healthy. I will see you in my next nutritious episode. And what is your favorite quinoa recipe? Please write in a comment section. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.